and welcome back to Xpwaste, where I'm almost convinced that making this show has completely ruined my RNG for TNL bingos. Hi, I'm Oxie.
And I'm Michael. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you so much for checking out our podcast, Xpwaste. We are a old school RuneScape centered podcast, and we talk about the news, talk about things going on in the game, get on tangents, get ready for that. We may not even talk about the game. You never really know, actually. So tune in next week, the week after. We'll be here. If you're not new around here, thank you so much for coming back. We love your face. Oxie, how are you?
I'm tired, my guy. I'm tired. Like I said in the intro, it's bingo season. Bingo season's kicking it. I've contributed nothing to my team this entire event so far. I've gotten some clue uniques, and I managed to get past wave 42 in the Inferno for that tile. And I'm not kidding. We were talking about the other day. Since we've created XpWaste, the bingo RNG has absolutely just hit the shitter. Like, I was trying to think back to oh, my last big drop in a TNL bingo. Yep. I think it may have been my sire pet back in February of 21.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been rough. There was the period of time during the one bingo that we did participate in where I got Bofa and Nightmare Pet. But I didn't have to host that. I just played in it.
Yeah.
It was with Vikings. That's the last time
Okay.
in any sort of big event that we got hella spooned. But an event that TNL has run, it's been kind of rough. So I was joking over the past couple of days that I think the show is cursed. My RNG specifically. My team is popping off. I'm being hard carried right now. Shout out to the infernal procrastinators, which is hysterical because not only do we have me, who's been procrastinating the Inferno since 2018, we also have the best Inferno killer in the entire Discord on my team. So we get a little bit of both,
That's funny. That's funny. It's like the duality of man. The guy
pretty
much only sends Inferno attempts and Oxie.
The guy who makes it his life's work to not send Inferno attempts.
Yeah.
We've been the middle of my team. I think the consensus for everyone is no Inferno from me. That's a no from me, dog.
It's all on fire capes and
but yeah, capes. I think it's gonna be Jesse's Infernal Cape. And then unless I get hella lucky on spawns and, find time in the next 6 days to do an Inferno, it's probably going to be Fire Cave. But yeah, I got back in, though, the first day of bingo. And I was joking around. I'm like, it's just like riding a bike, baby. You never forget. Then I immediately fucked up two-tick prayer. And I was like, just like riding a bike, baby. You still fall off and scrape the shit out of your ankle. Yeah, it was fun, though. But the Inferno didn't feel horrible to get back into. I mean, I haven't been doing it for several months, so it's like, oh, this is not too bad. I'm kind of a little naive going back to it. But
yeah,
no, it wasn't awful. I think when people ask me, how's the Inferno going, which I know when this episode comes out, having said that out loud, it's going to be a lot of you. My first attempt back wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad. Wasn't great. Wasn't too bad. Didn't use a whole lot of supplies. Just died because I have the stupid and didn't turn my mage prayer on when I went to chase a nibbler. Which, don't do that. Just keep your prayers on.
Prayers up. That's half the Inferno, is just remembering what prayers to use and when to use them.
Aye, for real.
It's probably more than half, but yeah.
It's a lot. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Could break it down the percentages, but I'm currently chilling at Winter Todd right now because our team we have done no Winter Todd or Temporo styles. Oh. So I have to do something because I can't. I'm on a serve task right now. Oh, that's the other big thing about this week. I got a scythe.
Wait, what?
I bought a scythe.
Oh, you bought a scythe.
I bought a scythe. I did my bit and I bought a scythe. I have nothing left. I have no claws, no hammer, no bludgeon, no spear, no pegs. I did manage to save all of my Inferno gear, though. So there is not a single piece of Inferno gear other than the pegs, technically, that got sold, which I was very pleased with.
Yeah.
Because that was my whole thing, was like, I am not going to sell anything if it means compromising my Inferno runs. I did sell my Justy Helm and my Pegasian boots. Mainly because Justy Helm and Verax are, from what I've been told from the capers in our clan, not capers as in cape sellers, they whatever. It's
The Cape
same thing as
owners.
the cape owners, yeah. The Verax Helm and the Justy Helm are basically the same thing, and pegs they were more of like a look at me, I have money kind of flex anyway.
Yeah.
So that's fine. Kept Kodai, sold Sang, but I did keep Kodai. Kept Bofa, kept Crystal, kept all my Zenites. So we were able to spend the money, and now I've got the ducats. Or I lied. I have nothing. I have no money whatsoever. But I have a scythe.
Yeah. Are you going to keep the scythe past bingo?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you just got
I'm
it
on a
for
full
bingo.
rebuild, baby.
Okay.
Nah, dude. It is rebuild season. We are out here grinding for that scythe at Wintertod. So, hopefully I get that 30 mil drop at Wintertod, right?
Right.
Otherwise, we're chilling. What about you, Michael? What's your week been like?
It's been pretty chill. I'm very behind on editing an extra episode for Patreon. So Patreon folks, if by the time this episode comes out, if you still don't have the episode, I very much apologize. I'm very close. It's a mixture of a lot of technical stuff that I had to do on the audio front, and then also this is just like second by second editing, which I'm not used to. Normally when we edit the podcast, like we kind of just roll with however the audio goes, cut out a few F words here and there, take out a cough here and there. But yeah, this is turning out to be like second by second editing, which is not fun because like I can't play RuneScape. I can't do anything else. Like I can't, like if I'm editing this episode right now, which I won't be, Oxie's editing, but like if I was editing our podcast, like I could work on the submissions sheet on the side probably. It's just copy and pasting, easy. I can't do that. So all that being said, it's taking a lot longer than I anticipated, and I should have started a lot earlier. So I apologize for the late episode, but I do think that you guys are going to like it. I am enjoying it as I'm listening to it. So it's really good. Other than that, I don't even think I've played RuneScape this week. And I'm a co-host in a RuneScape podcast.
So say, welcome back to our RuneScape podcast, everyone. What happened?
Did I play? I'm trying to really think back. I don't think I've logged in a single second since the last time we recorded. I don't know if that's a first for me as far as like going a whole week without playing, but maybe it's been a while. Like the last time I know I stopped playing was in 2019 or 2018 whenever I was on like Minecraft binge. But yeah, we'll see. I think once I get done with the extra episode, once bingo is over, and maybe if I just like if work calms down or something, I don't know, I'll be able to play more frequently. But there's other things I want to do, like audio only listeners, I'm sorry, but like I printed a little water rune today on my 3D printer. This is the first thing I've printed in probably like 3 weeks. And that was also on my mind of like, this is like my other hobby in life is 3D printing, and I haven't done that for a while. So I don't know, I'm getting caught back up on my hobbies. I have an update on the fruit still here. So I'm the fruit guy apparently. Shout out to Richards in the Xpwaste chat on our Discord for the nickname. Says I joined the Discord, heard about the podcast a few weeks ago. The fruit guy is my favorite. Thank you. And I can tell that you're from the UK because you put a U in the word favorite. Favorite.
I tried so desperately to get Michael's name as fruit guy, but to stay as fruit guy, and I actually had to ask Scape for special permissions to do it, and Scape changed it himself. And then within like 8 minutes, it's already just changed back to Michael. So cowardly of you, fruit guy. Awfully cowardly of you.
It kept like it didn't stay fruit guy. It kept getting changed back to fruity guy, and that missed the entire point.
What's wrong with that?
It
Just
missed
two fruity guys playing old school RuneScape. I don't see an issue with that.
There's a huge difference between a fruity guy and the guy with the moldy fruit.
Porque no los dos, right?
Well, why not both?
Why can't it be both?
Why can't it be?
That's all I'm saying, bro.
But yeah, the fruit's doing well. Still no hair, still no grossness on it. I don't know. Other than that, it's gonna stay here until I feel like we should move it. And by we, I mean me. Or if
Which
Oxie just
should be soon.
Or if Oxie just starts to quit.
Throwing that out there. Should be soon.
Maybe we can get to 10 weeks, 10 episodes. You know,
we really
big
shouldn't.
old episode 60.
I don't think we need to do that.
We could. We could.
Republic Wintertod is great because these pyromancers died, and now all these hardcores are just running back and forth, having no idea what to do. So
Nobody
both
wants
the
to make
pyromancers at the front died, and I'm just gonna rake in these easy points, baby. This is gonna be great.
Nobody wants to bring a potion. Like that's just too hard.
Yeah.
Whenever I did Wintertod on my Iron Man, I was the potion guy because like I would stay in there for like 7 or 8 games without leaving, and so it was really easy just to grab a potion or two and heal them whenever we needed to. But apparently for 2022 Wintertod, that's too hard.
I mean, I teleport back to my house after every single Wintertod game at this point, so I also bring Sarah Brews in just in case.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good strat. In the house teleports, yeah, it makes it easy. I'm going to log into RuneScape and see what the last thing I did was. Now that I'm, since I'm thinking about it. I think I was, if I had to guess, I think I was in Prifddinas, maybe gearing up to do the gauntlet. We'll see. Or I was doing a farmer. No, I was at the G. Okay.
Naked.
I'm at the GE. Oh, I have to do Authenticator? Bro, it's been a long time.
Bro, you have to authenticate your main account? Holy shit.
That should not happen, right?
He's down bad, boys. He's down bad.
I think I'm at the GE because I logged in to like invite somebody to the clan. Yeah, I'm at the GE. Okay. No. Bro. Okay, so my gear is not for Gauntlet. And you're right, you do go in naked. You don't gear up for Gauntlet. But I have herbivore stuff in my inventory, which I can't do while we're recording because it's way too click intensive.
I mean, you could.
It takes a lot of focus for me to do herbivore.
I strongly consider doing Cerberus while we recorded.
This isn't leagues.
But I don't have a spectral is the issue.
Oh.
I don't have a spectral. My task will be done. Jamie has offered me a spectral to use. But
cross team
have like
loaning.
I only have like 70 kills left. And I'm in a weird spot where like money means nothing, but also holy shit, blood runes are expensive. I knew that going into buying a scythe.
Yeah. It's a lot of upkeep.
What I wasn't quite aware of was outside of Theater of Blood, good God, do you use a lot of scythe charges? I've already burned through about 1800 and just like 60 Serb.
Whoa.
70 Serb. How many Serb do I have in my log? 77. Yeah, I don't even want to think about a blood shard because I may or may not have been camping a blood shard as Cerberus as well because I don't like banking. Cerberus has one of the shittiest runs in the game. It's like Nightmare KQ Serb.
Unless you buy the teleports or not buy unless you get the teleports.
Buy them.
Yeah, no. As soon as it came out of my mouth, I knew I was wrong. Yes.
Wish you could, but alas you can't. So yeah, we're mad chilling out here at Wintertod while we record. But yeah.
So any updates from your team or fun stuff happening in bingo?
my team is getting tiles finally.
Mm-hmm.
I am not getting tiles, but my team is finally getting tiles. We went through a dry streak over the weekend. I think Jesse, Ray, myself, Ralph, Jake, and Immortal sent Theater of Blood for like 48 hours. Ray, on her like second or third Tob, got a purple for our team. It was Justy Legs. So that's all we saw all weekend. I'm getting more comfortable in hard mode, even though I can't really survive that far. I did survive into survive well into P3. I think I survived into the healing phase. So in hard mode in P3, you'll get Verzik down to like 5%, and then she'll jump back up to like 30 or 35% and be like, I'm not finished with you yet. And you have to like keep doing the fight. Like tornadoes are already on the field. It's a madhouse. Hard mode Verzik is one of the scariest pieces of content I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, holy shit. That is a different encounter.
Yeah.
The other 5 rooms, really not that bad. If you got a team who you can coordinate with, the first 5, really, truly, not that bad. Verzik, that bitch is something else entirely.
I do have a question for you. I saw you posted a picture and you were wearing dragon plate legs gold trimmed.
I did, yes. So, surprise, surprise, I had to sell my Bandos Tassets to buy the scythe. I couldn't sell my BCP because it's the BCP. The gift BCP I got from the 24-hour stream. Yeah. So I can never get rid of that. So I do still have a BCP. And I'm like, BRB guys, I gotta go to the Great Exchange and buy some Obby legs. And Jake made a comment. He's like, imagine not wearing dragon, bro. And I'm like, all right, I'll wear dragon. And then I think Jesse, and Ralph were like, what do you mean? You're not gonna wear the chain body too? So my first Theater of Blood with a scythe, I'm in Dragon G. With a Serp helm and a Scythe of a Tour.
Like top and bottom?
I don't think I died. I think that may have been deathless. I gotta level with you.
Oh my god.
It may have been a deathless run.
He's gaming. He's gaming.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. It's nice to enjoy Tob finally after so long. And it's not the Scythe that I've enjoyed Tob with. It's getting comfortable enough with the boss to like not be super irritated. I'm still irritated at small mistakes that I make because like I should be better at that after, I'm not kidding, 170 attempts and only 61 completions. But what can you do?
Yeah.
So
you only get better. Like, it's a learning curve and it's only up from here, baby. Do you have this little thing that I keep seeing it all the time, but it's like Tob mistakes. It looks like a loot tracker.
Yeah, the Theater of Blood mistake tracker. So if you guys do Tob, go into the plugin hub and download the Tob mistake tracker. It's the funniest plugin you will ever download. What it does is it does exactly that. It tracks your mistakes in a raid. So examples of mistakes are like standing in blood at Maiden, getting bounced by Verzik, getting hit by one of the falling body parts at Bloat, things like that. And it tracks all of these little stats in this sidebar here. So you can figure out just how many mistakes you've made per raid.
Yeah.
Which like seems like it'd be super negative. But when you're in the raid and you do something, your character shouts things out.
Oh no.
It just like auto procs it from Moonlight. So if you stand in a blood splat, you go, I'm drowning in Maiden's blood.
Oh no.
If you get hit by a range ball, it goes, I'm eating cabbages. If you get bounced by Verzik, your character just says bye and you leave.
Bye.
Like,
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I think, and every time you die, no matter what the situation, every time you die, your character shouts, I'm planking. In hard mode. So, like I said, hard mode, single scariest piece of content in the game. IMO. Whenever Verzik shoots a range ball, it leaves a poison splat behind. So you have to like figure out where to put or like where to walk with the poison splat. If you walk in a poison splat, your character shouts, "I can't count to 4."
No, it does not.
Yeah, because it goes away every 4. Guys, is that every 4 ticks or something like that? It goes away, so you can like walk in a square basically. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Back to 1, and if you go 1, 2, 3, 1, it goes, "I can't count to 4." You go right back into cycle. So it's a lot of fun. Like it's not. I wouldn't recommend downloading it if you're learning Theater of Blood because that's just gonna make you really like disappointed.
Yeah.
But if you got a group of like you go to TOB with the boys, that's funny. It's fun to see all that stuff get shouted out. So yeah.
Can you see other people's shout out thing?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. So if you download it, anyone will shout it out, and your tracker will track the mistakes of everyone you raid with.
Wow. Okay. That's hilarious.
So like if I hit show all, let's see. I've made not that many, only 1,350 mistakes in 120 raid attempts. Someone like Jamie's made 166 in the 26 raids I've been on with her. Let's see. Jake made 117 in the 10 raids I've been on with him. So it's just things like that. And then you get egoed. You go up against people like Jesse who have like 300 mistakes in like 60 raids logged with your character, which is not a lot of mistakes.
It's like
so
3
it's
per
fun.
raid.
And a lot of the times it's not even. Usually it's like flawless, one super shitty maiden with 10 bloods, flawless. Like,
yeah,
it's been a lot of fun.
I would say to your point earlier, like if you're learning, the moment at which you can laugh at these things is probably when you're ready to download it.
Yeah, I agree. The moment you can be like, "Oh, I'm drowning in Maiden's blood again," and not like panic because you think you have to freeze or like kill a crab, it's fun. It's a good time. And then it's not like, go with people you like to do PVM with if you're learning TOB.
Yeah.
Don't do raids it. Don't 416 it.
I think that goes for like a lot of the major content. Like is Chambers of Xerix. I mean, you probably could go with whoever for Chambers, but yeah, you're right.
I'll take anyone to Chambers as Eric. Like it. The problem with TOB is it's so unforgiving, and I don't mean to say that to make myself sound like a badass. I mean like the amount of times I've been to TOB and died like immediately in a room, and I'm not kidding. I mean like immediately. It's really demoralizing to be like, yeah, I'm gonna learn this content, and then just not get to do it.
Yeah.
If and when you die at home while you're learning, you can just run right back into the fight.
Oh, that's true.
If and when you get bounced by Verzik and get hit by a crab at the same time, you have to sit in the cage of shame until either your teammate finishes the raid and you get like swamp tar as loot, or you wipe and have to spend 100K for a mistake that you made.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
Those parts of TOB aren't fun. So when I say it's unforgiving, like it's not fun to learn. That makes sense. It's fun to do, and I encourage everyone to learn it. But once you're, I don't know, when you're in it, it's more enjoyable. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, you gotta wipe off the newness, the stress of it being new. Get that out of the way. You're good to go. So
again, I only have 61 KC, so I'm no expert. And again, I have like I think 3 times as many KC or 3 times as many attempts as I do KC. So
yeah,
don't take my advice as someone who's like mastered the content, but don't do it with strangers. Much like every piece of group content, just don't do it with strangers. Find friends, dude.
Yeah,
we'll be your friends.
We talk about that. We talk about that a lot with like Barbarian Assault. Just the things that can be very frustrating. So join TNL. This isn't a plug for TNL, but if you want a good group of people to do content with, join TNL. We have a team search channel just dedicated for it.
I was gonna say it is a plug for TNL because we have a bingo going on. If you want to participate in it, you should join our clan and do the next one.
Fall bingo, baby. No, I was actually talking to somebody. I was like, what if we did the Wildy bingo again? How crazy would that be? No, you don't want to do that?
The Wildy bingo on paper is one of the coolest things you've ever thought of. In practice, f***ing disaster. it just became a rag fest in the last 48 hours.
Yeah.
And like, that's not fun
Well-
for people. I'm all for pushing people out of their comfort zone and like dragging them to PVM. Like I said, I have meant what I said from the last episode where I'm dragging people to PVM. I have taken people with like bare minimum business being at bosses, 2 bosses. Shout out to Satan Bot for both coming to Krill and DK's. I think he got 70 hit points just before going to DK's. And we were looking at his stats. Like, I think I was at Zammy when I saw him get 70 HP. In VC, I was like, I know where we're going tonight, baby. We took him to VC. I did put him through the mandatory Oxy tank test, where if you're going to God Wars Dungeon with me for the first time, it's usually going to be Bandos or Krill. And if it's Bandos or Krill, which probably will be, I make you tank. I make you tank 1. Not the whole time, just 1 kill. If you die, I'll pay your death fee, no problem.
Yeah.
But I make you tank no matter what. And he did it. He tanked. He survived in his Obsidian and his Abyssal Whip. It was great.
Very nice.
I did it again with Valeric as well. He survived with Arc Light and the Fighter Torso. So people have been surviving the tank tests when we go.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it's been fun. I've been doing another thing I enjoy quite a bit. I'm out here bitching about how expensive blood runes are, but like I don't keep splits from bosses unless they're like expensive. So like DK bones just go to other people. Anything that's not a unique just goes to other people. You know, that's fun for me. So
give back a little. We've seen a lot. So like speaking of drops, we've seen a lot of crazy stuff so far this bingo, and it's only barely halfway through.
Bruh.
Like 2 mutagens, countless pets. We can count them. It's an exaggeration, but like we've seen a lot of pets. Usually there's like a pet bounty. Like in the past events, we've had like, hey, first person to get a pet gets a bounty, and that almost like there are times where it almost doesn't get claimed. But we've seen so many pets this bingo. It's insane. I'm trying to remember some of the notable ones. Jamie got at least 1, possibly
Jamie got
2.
Scorpia. Jamie got Scorpia last night. I think Antixon, I think is how you say his name. Antizan. He's an iron. He got the Temporos pet. I want to say somebody on Scape's team got Tangle Root.
What?
Yeah, I want to say somebody on Scape's team got Tangle Root, which I knew you'd be pissed about, but they did get Tangle Root.
What?
I don't know. I think Ralph got the Kraken pet earlier today and promptly added TMD.
Oh my gosh.
About it. TMD's I think 4,500 kills without the pet. I swear to God, these people do not heal.
I'm looking in their chat right now just
Great
to
guns.
see. I mean, it probably wasn't today, but Immortal has now both mutagens. I don't know if that's what's going to be your achievement of the week, but 2 mutagens.
Drops are not achievements.
Oh, okay, good.
Drops are RNG. In the complete opposite vein, my teammate Made in Ohio got our mega rare tile. TMD wanted a fucked mega rare is the name of the tile. So of course he went and got 15 noted anti-fires, and he was livid. We were all in VC with him, and he's like, "Man, I got 15 noted anti-fires," and we're freaking out because we got the tile, and he's just so sad.
Right, because that could have been third age.
It's like 1 in 16K for 15 noted anti-fires. Yeah, it's pretty shit. Shout out to Made in Ohio for carrying that tile. GG.
Yeah,
King.
it's 5 points, so it's hard to complain, but it's also not a fun time when you know that it literally could have been so good. It could have been so good. I'm looking at our board right now, and like I don't know if I just didn't notice this before, but like there are some very unique ones that I don't think I've seen in any bingos. Nevertheless, like many of them, like we have a lot of combination ones, which I think is fun. We have a Staff of the Dead from scratch. We have a Zenite from scratch. Usually it's just like a Zenite tile, but we went the extra step and said, hey, get an Onyx as well. You don't have to make any of this stuff. It just has to be from scratch. We have a Boot from scratch tile. You have to get 2 of the best in slot boots from scratch. So say you're at Cerberus and you get a Pegasian crystal. Well, guess what? You have to go get Ranger boots, or hold out for maybe the Eternals or the Primordials and see if that's a little easier to get. But yeah, this is definitely a fun bingo. I'm not playing, if you guys didn't listen to the last episode, I'm not playing, and there's like, I wouldn't even say it's a small part of me. There's an actual part of me that like regrets not just sending it. And even if I was only going to play like maybe 1 day, 2 days out of the entire bingo, just doing it, because it's been fun to watch. I definitely could have seen myself getting some of these tiles. Like I would love to do some high gambles if we went for like the Barbarian Assault tile, because there's like a helmet that you have to get from there or something, or like, no, actually it's just a speed run, so then maybe it's not a lot of Barbarian Assault. But there's actual skilling, so like I could have done some Hunter, I could have done Guardians of Rift, which I really have been liking that. There's Cerberus, which I've wanted to try. There's just a lot of stuff that it gets you out of your comfort zone with bossing, and I'm in a comfort zone, so maybe I need to just join another bingo or something where I don't have to be an admin and I can play and maybe disappoint my team, maybe not.
That's awful bold of you to assume you would disappoint your team
with how little that I would be playing.
I mean, I've also not been playing as much as I would like to. This whole having a full-time job thing sucks when you're trying to play bingo, but it happens, man. It happens. Just because you're not able to play 24/7, that's totally fine. If you pop in 1 day, get 1 tile, you're still contributing to your team,
That's very true. It's very true. Yeah, like if I didn't have family coming in town, like if it just didn't happen to coincide with like the last time that we would get to see this part of my family, and it's my wife's sister, they're moving out of state, so like we probably won't see them for a while, and they're going to be here the entire weekend. So if they hadn't, like if these two things hadn't coincided, I think that would have been me being able to join and contribute. But it just work and them being here just wasn't going to happen. But
yeah, it happens.
alas
indeed.
So
what are we talking about today, Michael?
I was just gonna say that you guys didn't come here to hear us ramble about bingo. That's next episode.
Is it? Because we've rambled about bingo for weeks. I feel like we gotta give these people a break.
Next episode, I think, like by the time we record, at least the next
it'll be over.
It'll be over
by the time we record. Yeah.
So we'll have more to say. We'll have to talk about like big moments, shout outs, things like that, hopefully. But today, I don't know. I was just thinking about it this week. There's been a lot of things as I have been, like, while I'm at work, there's certain times where like I'm not interacting with the customers that we have, so I can just drive around and I just drop stuff off to people's houses. And on those days, I generally just hang out in VC with people. And a lot of the shifts that I've had this week are those. And so I've gotten a lot of time where I'm thinking about RuneScape and I'm talking about RuneScape, but I'm not playing. And some of those conversations have led to like, oh, do you remember this? We used to do this. This was the best Fashionscape back in the day. And like, it just kind of hit me that like old school RuneScape, the nostalgia for this game feels like it's wearing off, at least for me. And I wanted to get Oxie's thoughts on this too. Like, I've been playing RuneScape since 2005. I stopped right around 2009. Came back for a little while. Picked up old school RuneScape back in like 2016. And have been playing off and on. So like, it's a lot of time playing a single game. And for me, I do feel like the nostalgia of the game has worn off. I don't want to say that like I've done everything I want to do, but when I log into RuneScape, I'm not getting that same fuzzy feeling of, hey, this is the game I played, when I was a kid. And if I didn't have goals and I didn't have friends that played, and if I didn't have this podcast, I probably would have quit a long time ago. Because for me, the nostalgia is not what's keeping me here anymore, like it was for a long time. Like for the first couple years of old school RuneScape being like released, at least from when I was playing it, nostalgia was a huge part. But I think for me, like the idea that this is still old school RuneScape is kind of gone. We've talked about this in the past. It doesn't feel like OSRS, old school RuneScape, isn't old school anymore. We have updates, we have different graphical updates, we have content in the game that kind of just veers away from the feeling of this being 2007 Scape. Like this has formed its own, it's formed into its own entity. And I don't even know what you would call it, because it's not RuneScape, it's not 2007 Scape, and it's definitely not RuneScape 3. Like I don't think it's heading in that direction. Like the two paths are not going to diverge at a single point, and we'll just have RuneScape 3. So I don't know. Do you feel, Oxie, like you have any nostalgia left for RuneScape?
The nostalgia I've had for this game, I gotta level with you, probably disappeared maybe when I got membership years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, maybe a little bit after, I think, because you got to remember when I played this game, I wasn't good. I wasn't skilled. I wasn't talented at the game itself. I played it with my friends and I thought it was fun, but like there's only so much you can do in free to play. And the little bit I did in members, you know, as I've said before, it was a lot of, you know, a lot of fishing in Catherby, a lot of like trying to do Fremenic trials, but not knowing how to because Rune HQ, not that it didn't exist. I was just, again, stupid and didn't think to like look at it. But when it came to like, you know, one of my biggest achievement is like doing Dragon Slayer, like going to school the next day and being like, I could wear a rune plate body, motherfucker, like that. That was a big achievement for me. I never went to the Western provinces. I thought you would just die immediately. I don't even think I ever went south of Ardoyan, let alone could even pronounce Ardoyan back then. You know, I never did Monkey Madness as a kid. A lot of the things that we do now and kind of take for granted, when old school was out in like 2006, 2007, I would have been, what, 9, 10, 11 years old when this version of the game was popular. And, you know, when you're in, 5th, 6th grade, you know, in addition to like having other things and other games to play, you also have a little bit of a different life going into it. And being not very skilled at the game, like Castle Wars is always nostalgic for me because I played a lot of Castle Wars because that's how I spent a lot of my time in RuneScape was playing Castle Wars. I've told the story in the podcast before that like you could freeze people with ice blocks and that was super cool, but I didn't know how to do that. And if you told me how to do it, I probably wouldn't have done it because there probably would have been a boss to fight.
Yeah.
Turns out there would have been 4 bosses to fight and I would have died at all of them. You know, I had to like mentally prepare for Elvarg, which kind of made Group Iron Man a lot of fun for me because I also had to mentally prepare on like a shitter account to go do what I think, you know, if I were to ever do it on an alt account, I have a main who can just fund the alt. Like, you know, back when I had a Dragon Hunter Lance, because I sold that for the scythe too. Just like loan that to an account if they need it. But like also what account has 70 attack and not Dragon Slayer or 75 attack?
Right.
In any case, like, you know, a lot of the things that I did as a kid are so far in the past of what I do now playing the game that a lot of the nostalgia went away from me when I started to explore the wiki.
Yeah.
When I started to find people like Theoatrix who told me about this really cool armor called Void or the Fighter Torso, whatever that was. I've had there was a big period of time where I had no reference point for what was old and what was new, other than Zaya, because that looked weird,
Yeah. Yeah.
and Fossil Island, which also looked a little bit out of place. Because I remember something being over there, but not Fossil Island. I think I was thinking of Damonheim, where Dungeoneering is.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of the stuff like Mauritania looked really weird to me when I came back. Um, God, let's see what else. Yeah, I mean, Isle of Souls wasn't there. The Western provinces looked very strange. Because when I first started playing, Prif didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But after a short while of playing in summer 2019, suddenly Prif was a city, and I'm like, that wasn't a thing when I was a kid.
Right.
Because I didn't. Song of the Elves came out and just completely went over my head. I don't like. I never played this game with the intent for nostalgia. I play it like a new game that I'm playing. I don't play it with like, man, I need to go home and chill and vibe and like go back and do all this fun nostalgic stuff. Because like the fun nostalgic stuff is nostalgic, but it's not necessarily fun because like it's been said around the community, like the mindset has changed.
Mm-hmm.
Getting the boys together for Castle Wars or like, what's that game at the GE? Like Checkers or like Connect 4?
Yeah.
Rune Link. Getting the boys together for that is fun, but I never go to a Castle Wars world.
Right.
I love fishing in Catherby, and while I fully intend to get multiple 99s and possibly even max at that location, I don't intend to ever fish there for real.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Like,
I think it goes.
I don't know.
I think it goes back to just how we played back in the day and how inefficient things were. Like, what could be nostalgic for me is like cutting a yew tree, because you did that back in the day because yew trees used to cost, they could make you good money. Yew logs were expensive, and then you don't do that now. Like I don't even think bots chop yew trees anymore.
See, it's crazy because I did when I first got back to old school. So because I had no reference point, I just knew about training methods.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about the Abyssal Whip as the most essential piece of content you could ever obtain from Melee on a mid-game account, and it is. But when I got back to old school for the first time and I looked through the attack menu and got that wave, that chill of nostalgia, and was like, oh shit, I remember all of this. Some of this shit doesn't make any sense. I don't know what an Evandus Flail is. I don't know what any of this third age shit is. I don't know what a Sarachnis Cudgel or Dragon Hunter Lance. I don't know what any of this shit is. But there it is. That's the Abyssal Whip.
There it is.
Like, I remember the icon. I remember the level 70 attack. I never had it. I've always wanted it. I had a party on stream with my viewers when I got 70 attack for the first time in old school. Because to me, that was a monumental achievement.
Yeah.
Right at the time, because it was special based on what I had known. I trained to 75 wood cutting with yew logs. And then I used those yew logs to fletch yew bows or yew long bows because I found out that was profitable. Like, I did a lot of things I remembered doing.
Yeah. And
then once I started to meet people and once I started to get into the swing of, XP per hour and here's a tip from what helped me and vice versa, I stopped doing the things I used to do. I was so excited when I got 76 fishing, because I think it's 76 fishing for sharks, right? Because that's another big one that for me, I always wanted to be able to do, because I had one friend who could do it. I think my friend Ryan could do it. But it was just so cool that that's you could harpoon a shark. Holy shit, that's awesome. And when I was finally able to catch sharks for the first time in graduate school, and the XP dropped from 35 to 50k an hour AFKing barbarian fishing to 7k an hour harpooning them at the fishing guild, I was like, suddenly this has lost a lot of allure. Because while yes, I need a third of the amount of sharks, I would as I do like leaping sturgeon, it's going to take me 6 times as long to get to 91 fishing for the diary or to 81 fishing for manta rays. Like there's just a lot of things. So for me, a lot of the nostalgia exists in like the stories I tell people of how bad I used to be at old school. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
Mhm.
I'm more nostalgic to finding the game on mobile in 2018
Right.
than
Right.
I am to playing the game as a kid. I
As
remember we were earlier today, people in the CC were talking about random events. I used to teleport you places. Bro, I remember when people would get those random events, a river troll would pop up and everyone in Catherine would go, oh shit, and they DD on that spot to start taking his stuff because this dude was AFK and he was gonna die.
yeah.
Like I remember that,
Yeah.
Like I was there for the old times of old school RuneScape, but you know, kind of akin to like Star Wars, the original trilogy is great, and I love the original trilogy. It's a really good set of films, but I'm a child of the Clone Wars, and I love the prequel movies. Are probably my three, not my three favorite, but like the trilogy I enjoy the most is probably the prequels
Mm,
because that's what I grew up with.
right.
That's how I learned about Star Wars. That's how I fell in love with it. Revenge of the Sith always my favorite movie. Old school RuneScape is the prequel trilogy for me. A lot of people are here because they love the original trilogy, the 2007. I used to PK with a Rune 2H sword. I am the prequel trilogy of I want to watch Odablock kill someone in 2 game ticks with like all the shit that we have now. I don't know. So that's my view on nostalgia and old school RuneScape, I suppose. What about you? Where are you at with it? I know you said you don't really feel it as much anymore, but like where do you feel it when you log in?
I I feel it in the I don't know, like in the inefficiency of just playing the game to have fun. Like the like the birthday event that came out, you got a pair of skis and I was just dicking around on the skis for no reason. And that was probably the closest that I've come to having a nostalgic feeling for the game is like when you're playing it because it's fun and it's a game. Just being on the skis and your house being like a snowy theme and like you have this big open field and like I don't know, it's just silly things like that. I also get a lot of like I actually do get a lot of nostalgic feeling watching like old RuneScape videos that I would watch back when I first started. Like a big part of why I actually found and came back to like actually came back to and started playing old school RuneScape was a guy named Moteplox on YouTube. Like if we ever get the chance to have him on the podcast, I would love to sit down and talk to him. He for a long time used to make like Easter egg videos and top 10 videos, but it would all just be stuff about RuneScape. If you're looking for a video to watch from him, he has 150 facts. It may not be titled this, but like it's akin to like 150 facts you didn't know about RuneScape. And he goes back and he'll actually reference things from RuneScape Classic, things that got ported to RuneScape back when it was just called RuneScape in like 2003 or 2002 when the beta went live. And yeah, and he talks about a bunch of different stuff. And his channel was one of the main reasons why I actually still play RuneScape or I actually came back. So those types of things give me that nostalgia fuzzy feeling. But it's you mentioned Zaya and all of the stuff that like has come into the game in the past couple years that wasn't in RuneScape back in the day. And like I think it's that kind of stuff that's kind of ruined it for me. Like the expansions and all the new things that they're putting in the game. I feel like one exception could have been Next, but I never played. I was never at a point in my account where I could have done Next even if I wanted to,
Couldn't even spell GWD back
No.
then, let alone get there to kill any boss, you know?
I've said it recently. In my adult life, my hands were sweaty to go kill bandos. In my adult life, let alone having any, cojones to do that when I was a kid. No. Like, I didn't have friends that were good at PVM. So, like, I never did any of that as a kid. So that kind of stuff could have been somewhat nostalgic. I feel like there's people in our clan that played RS back in the day when Nex was around and are like, oh wow, this is a lot of fun. It kind of feels like the good old times, but nah, not for me, baby. So yeah, all the content that's come out, Prifdinus probably could have been nostalgic, because it's an RS3.
But it's weird. It's weird because Prif only came out in RS3 like a year prior to Song of the Elves.
Oh, no kidding.
It wasn't, I don't think, like, hold on, let me fact check myself on this. All right, yeah, so the quest is The Plague's End, which is their Song of the Elves, which is a sick-ass name for a quest, by the way.
The Plague's End. What is that, like
you've
open
got
up
Morning's End? I mean, pretty much. It's Plague's End is effectively the same as Song of the Elves. From what I'm reading here, there's an uprising in Ardoyan. You have to find all the elders. You go through the library, probably a really shitty puzzle. I don't know if you actually have to fight anybody in this quest. I would imagine you do. It says you fight the Dark Lord, which, like, very well could be akin to the Seren fight. I have no idea because combat in RS3 is just okay. This came out in 2014.
Oh, okay.
Morning's End Part 2 came out in 2006.
Oh.
But the crazy thing is, was it 2006 or something like that? Yeah, let's see. Morning's End Part 2 came out in, let's see, because there's one quest after, Within the Light. So we've got MEP 2 came out in 2005. Oh man.
Damn.
Within the Light came out in 2009. And then Prif came out in 2014.
So it's 5 years in between all of them.
Yeah, it's a long time to wait between all those quests, So I understand it could be nostalgic, but
yeah,
it came out around the same time. I imagine doing the old quests was nostalgic.
Mm-hmm.
With the old shitty graphics and
yeah,
I can see how it would be. But
you know what's funny though? Like, I was super hyped to do like Demon Slayer, because that's a classic free to play quest, And as a kid, I remember like just being scared out of my wits, having to literally write down the incantation. I wrote it down. There's no chance I knew how to take a screenshot, so I wrote that down. And doing it as an adult and being able to one-shot that demon and hit a 7 on him was, I don't know, it definitely popped the bubble, because I'm like, I remember that being a lot harder. It has 7 HP.
Dude, I had the same problem. I didn't have it on my main. I had it on my pure.
Yeah.
Because I did the quest so long ago on the main that, like, I probably was bad enough at the game that it wasn't a thing. But, like, when I did it on my pure, I think I was already up to, like, adamant.
Okay.
And I'm like, all right, we got to prepare ourselves here. We got to prepare ourselves. Like, Demon Slayer, like, this is my first big test. It's going to be a big one. No, it was our groupie.
That's what
I was worried our groupie was going to be, like, get killed at Demon Slayer because of the Dark Wizards and, like, all that. And I one-banged Delrith on my hardcore group Iron Man and went, okay.
I guess then.
I don't know what I was so worried about.
It was bad.
Well, didn't know this thing only had 7 or 10 hit points or whatever it had.
Yeah, I feel like it's the same thing with like Dragon Slayer. Like, the fight was kind of hard. I mean, I did it at a lower level than I probably should have, but I had to flinch it because I didn't have overhead prayers, and this was on the groupie. On my first Iron Man, Iron Hound, I definitely just took a Dragon Sim and face tanked it. There's no way. Because I wanted, like, If you're on an Iron Man, you don't do Dragon Slayer early because it unlocks dragons for Slayer tasks. But I did it anyway because I wanted to be able to do all the free to play quests to say, hey, I did this. But I think that would probably be the closest thing that I could still get any sort of nostalgic feeling is all of those quests, and just maybe reading the dialogue or doing it way too early so that maybe Demon Slayer is hard. Like if you're doing it on a level 3 and you really do have to sweat. But no, there's nothing in this game. I very few things.
I found that dragons, like the majority of the Dragon Slayer quest, is a lot easier than I remember. You know, going through on some accounts, you know, like leagues, for example, going through on leagues and being like, you know, all right, I'm gonna kill this lesser team, and I remember this being really hard in Melzar's maze.
Mm-hmm.
And I know leagues is a bit of a whack example, but like burning through it and not worrying about it. Even on my group Iron Man account, I know what a safe spot is now. So like I can just safe spot. I know how NPC hitboxes work. I know how pathing works. I just like trap the lesser demon in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Didn't have overheads, didn't give a shit. Like it was fine. So you know, pieces like that I felt were a little bit easier. But then actually when I've gotten to Elvarg on pretty much all of my accounts, it's still been something of a battle. Because like you could go in extremely over leveled and probably 2-hit Elvarg with a Dragon Hunter Lance. And I kind of want to see somebody do that. I think that might be fun to watch. Like full Torva,
Oh my gosh.
Dragon Hunter Lance, Avernic Defender, like claw spec into DHL. You know,
You've never done
double
the quest.
claw DHL, just like a 4-second. Yeah, like I don't like to do quests, dude. Who gives a shit? And then, you know, at that point, even I think stuff like that would be just stupid and fun to watch.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's interesting you bring up that like Zaya kind of killed the nostalgia, or like additions have killed the nostalgia. Whereas for me, going back to the like prequel original trilogy, you know, metaphor, Zaya is where some of the nostalgia is at. I remember when Hosidius looked like dog shit. I remember when Shazian looked like dog shit. You know, Chambers of Zarek, as much as that content is just shit, I cannot stand White Light Simulator. It's one of my least favorite pieces of content in the game most of the time. If done with the right people, it can be a really good experience. But while I was making a video for Bingo, I had to go through and show like, hey, you can get screenshots from all your boss chests. And it never occurred to me that that's been turned on forever. And I had every single Chambers of Zarek screenshot I've ever gotten in my entire life.
Oh wow. There you
I
go.
got screenshots of people who I don't even talk to anymore.
Yeah.
In these cock screenshots. I have my first TOB. I have like my early game Barrows, where like you can kind of see the hint of like, you know, the shitty climbing boots I'm still wearing because I couldn't afford dragon boots. You know, like you can. So for me, a lot of these new pieces of content are nostalgic for me. Sarachnis was a big challenge. Sarachnis was an achievement when I killed Sarachnis for the first time.
Yeah.
Because it's the first time I ever had to prey flick anything. My first Barrows run was comically bad because I had never been there before, and I thought it was going to be way harder than it was.
Yeah.
I got screwed on my first Barrows run. I went down into Torag's crypt, not knowing how it worked. I was anticipating Torag to pop out, and he didn't. And it said, "Would you like to go down into the crypt?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And I chased Torag around through 9 different rooms. I didn't know that your prayer drained inside the encounter. I didn't know you couldn't go through whatever door you wanted to. Other brothers were spawning randomly.
Oh.
And the people in my chat were like, bro, you went down the worst possible way. This was my first ever Barrows run ever.
Yeah.
I went down and got so turned around. That was like a chaos rune chest for sure. Yeah. Like it was.
That's
so
funny.
Things like that hold my nostalgia. You know, there's the nostalgia I had as a kid is nothing compared to like like I said, my first Theater of Blood completion, getting my first quest cape, getting my first fire cape here in old school RuneScape, my first Zalra kill. Oh my god. You know, the Inferno is going to be up at that level of like, this is how I remember old school. You know, so for me, the additions have kind of made it nostalgic, if that makes sense.
I guess because you're experiencing them for the first time as an adult, like not knowing how to do barrows or what the heck barrows is.
Yeah.
And then now you're looking back and you're having nostalgia for what you experienced in the recent years. And I guess I do have some of that. Like you talk about the screenshots, like the computer that's out in the living room right now. That's the computer that I've been playing old school RuneScape on for years. And I could probably go in there and see early account progression and like my first 99 dates and times in which all of that started. I have screenshots on that computer of silly things that I saw. Like I think I screenshot. They had it was in old school, but it was like April Fool's one year where they were teasing something. I don't remember what it was, but they ended up releasing the cabbage cape as an April Fool's joke. And like they released a skill called cabbage pickers or like cabbage picking. And you would go to the little cabbage patch in Falador, and every time you picked a cabbage, it would give you XP. And you could raise your cabbage picking level all the way to 99. And once you did, you would go to this NPC and they would give you the cabbage cape. So I have screenshots of all of that. And I look back at that kind of stuff and I do kind of feel like, oh wow, that was a lot of fun. And it's kind of akin to that, just being kind of silly in the game. Like I have a screenshot of myself with the cabbage cape in full ancient rune with a rune scimitar, just like flexing. And that was my best gear at the time. Because I thought, oh, I'm coming back to this game. I think this is in 2016. It's like, I'm coming back to the game. I'm going to be rich enough to afford rune trimmed armor. Come to find out, it's not that expensive. Any schmuck who has a mill can probably afford it. But, you know, earlier, I said there's nothing in this game that will give me the nostalgic fuzzies. Yes, there is. My first 1 million GP that I made coming back to old school, I can still remember that. Like I made that money myself. It wasn't handed to me. It wasn't, I made that money and I remember it. My first green cash stack. Those are big things that you remember. But when I see a green cash stack now, I'm just like, oh wow, I got money. So I don't know. It doesn't
spend this on blood runes.
Gonna swing the scythe. It doesn't carry you that far. I do just want to point out real quick, the recording blue chat has been popping off. And Imby, she posted her first ever Barrows run. She made a note card. And she's got all of the Barrows brothers written down in like little
shut up,
little
dude.
like paths to go and who to kill first. If she gives us permission, we could put it on screen right now because this is hella dope and adorable. Okay, she said we can. So you're seeing it now. I guess, hey, if you need a Barrows guide, Imby's got you. She's got you guys. This is amazing.
I don't know what happened with how some of this was organized, but turns out I do have every screenshot. I don't know how, but I do, because I got some of this on my laptop and I thought my laptop's hard drive wiped.
Oh.
But there's that for you guys that I just put in the recording booth chat. That's my first ever Barrows chest.
Hell yeah.
I somehow managed to get through that first run on stream.
That's not bad.
Which also makes me really happy because this means I have my screenshot of my Phoenix pet.
Oh.
Like, I thought I lost that so long ago, but turns out I do actually have it.
Nice.
I have the screenshot of my Phoenix pet. I've got my first elite clue, which is unsurprisingly still fucking garbage. But, what can you do?
So it's good. It's good to go down memory lane sometimes. I feel like I need to go like boot up the laptop and just look through the RuneLite folder for a while and see like where you've come from versus where you are now. I don't know. If you're a late gamer like me and you're really struggling with like setting goals and keeping them, maybe not feeling burnt out, like maybe go back into your RuneLite screenshots and just look and see what was what was the first 90 days of your account like? What was the first year? What did you do? What are the things that made you happy? What are the things that like you felt really accomplished? And then look at where you are now. And maybe you'll get some of that back. You know?
Yeah, sometimes the wave of nostalgia, because like we don't think about it on a daily basis, but sometimes the wave of nostalgia will hit you in a way that you truly are not expecting. I just found a screenshot here that I think is pretty neat, or rather a set of screenshots that I'm going to put up for you guys right now. This is when I finished Song of the Elves.
Ooh.
That's what I was wearing when I finished SOT on my birthday.
Hell yeah.
Because I was like, oh my God, this is super cool. The nostalgia is for all of this. Like there is, I don't have a lot of screenshots of like, oh, look at me, I'm fishing in Catherby. This is so amazing. I'm so cool. It's like, holy shit, I've got my fire cape. This is awesome. I'm dancing with all my friends and we all have fire capes. This is so cool. It's things like that. But yeah, wow, I got so many
Great
screenshots.
cosplay.
I have my dragon harpoon when they were 435K.
Nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess in closing, for me at least, I don't know what else you got for it, Michael, but 2007 Skate may be long dead, but you can still find nostalgia in the game that you play on a daily basis.
Yeah. I don't know. Closing for me, I just thought of this. Not closing is like, hey, we're done talking, but we'll go to break after this. But I feel like since I've just been feeling nostalgic lately, I think that's why I wanted to, talk about this on the show. But like, I've been chasing the nostalgia elsewhere. Like for me, one of the games that I love and remember playing the heck out of was Fable 2. And so I spent the better part of the afternoon one day just like Googling the heck out of it, trying to think or like trying to figure out how I can play this game. Like I went so far as to go on Facebook Marketplace to try and find an Xbox 360 that I could just buy and look for like an old TV and try and find the game somewhere to just play it. And I eventually found a way to play it. It's costing me like $15 a month because you have to have Xbox Game Pass Premium, which is way too expensive. But I don't know. Like I played that game for a couple hours and I definitely felt the nostalgia in that. So like I've been chasing it other places. That's not RuneScape, because I think again, like the nostalgic well has just dried up a little bit with RuneScape. So I've been chasing it elsewhere, and maybe that's why I haven't been playing as much as I used to. Like people call it max avoidance, people call it burnout. I just call it, hey, you know what? Not having as much fun.
I just don't want to play the game.
I don't have as much fun as I used to. Yeah, we could talk a lot more. I've got other things I wanted to talk about, but I think this is a good place to wrap it up. Yeah, guys, so you can still find nostalgia out there, even though I said multiple times, I don't know what nostalgia is. I feel like I do. I feel like just talking about this episode has given me some semblance of hope to find it again. So join us after the break where we'll have some fun stuff to talk about. Maybe a fun question. We always do that. We'll see you there. Aye. All right. See you guys in a minute.
All right, this is yours. This is mine.
Okay.
Straight out of oh my gosh, dude.
Yo, straight out of Lumbridge. That's hype.
Oh,
That's awesome, dude.
yes. I think
Ibby,
yours is the
thank
same.
you. That's fucking
Yours. Yep, yours is Lumbridge too.
hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah, dude. All right, what's the card say? No way.
What?
Send it to you.
20 buckets.
I was like, that seems a little shipping costs. Yeah, oh, that's fucking awesome.
Oh,
I was gonna say,
dude.
that's a little weird that she's just sending us money, but that's fucking awesome.
Dude, that's so sweet. I love this. I'm gonna wear this tonight.
I'll wear mine tonight
Unless
too.
you want to match.
I'll wear
wanna
mine
match?
tonight too. So I'll wear it in spirit and just like be shirtless for this episode.
I'll just you're editing, so you can't like unless you want to learn how to green screen clothes onto yourself.
No, I mean green screen and clothes literally would just be me taking like a PNG of the image and just like keeping it underneath my chin the whole time.
Yes.
Like
That's so cool, dude.
that's
I love
awesome.
that.
Thank you, Imby. That's so cool. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that rather unique commercial because I know I sure did, and I am excited to wear the shirts. It's Patreon time, folks. It is after the commercial, and you know what that means. We shout out the patrons. Starting in the Wise Old Man's Here. Wise Old Man's Here? Yeah, you guys are the Wise Old Man's Here. I know how to do business. Haha. We have Scape Caution, Elagio, Bolimer B, Basket, Benjamin R, Hadadbod, C. Gladney, Corey A, Creamed Ham, Durf Nasty, Drum TXT, Duke Bradley, Flyin' Castiel, Forest Tree, Fortimus, Ice Wallow, Imby Jones. Shout out once again to Imby Jones for them sick ass shirts. Jake W, Jordy, 999999, Pooper Cheeks, Russa Fury, Salted Snake, Toast, Troll, and our newest patron, Zach. Good evening. Welcome. Hope you enjoy the Wise Old Man tier. Promoting is my specialty.
Actually, Oxy, Duke Bradley is our newest patron. Welcome, Duke. Thank you.
My name is Oxy, and not only can I do business, I can also properly read notifications on Patreon that are on the correct date. Hi, welcome. I just want to talk about RuneScape, man. But it's time to shout out the KBD tier. The people who we also love and can flex on everybody else in the Discord. They're not flexing our love. Michael, this is why we let you do this at 11 o'clock at night on a Tuesday. Starting off strong, we have my dad. Hi, Dad. Cookies and Milf, Draven, Kroll, the Lord Jake himself, P-Joint, our third favorite supporter, Ralph, and Spartan Fire. Thank you all very much for your support. I am literally begging for this section to be done. So it will be if you want to support us on Patreon so you can have your name read in an ever increasingly more awkward way after the commercial. Head over to patreon.com/XPWaste. And if you want to look hot as shit like Michael and I do right now,
hell yeah,
you can go over to xpwaste.shop and look at merch. We have lots of it. We might have more coming. Probably do. Don't know when, but probably. Yeah, I'm excited for all of that. I still need to get my mug and my pint glass and my sticker.
Yeah.
So yeah, Imby said the crop top sweatshirt. My best friend just ordered the crop top hoodie. She got, I think, the classic logo on the pink hoodie with the crop. So she has refused to model it because I did ask her when we were doing the promotional stuff. But I am excited to like see more pieces of merchandise out in the wild. Both my mom and my dad got merch.
Oh,
They have collectively listened to maybe 40 seconds of XP Waste because they don't understand. And they're like, is it okay if I don't watch the show because I don't get it? I'm like, you would be so confused. I am more than okay with like your verbal support.
Yeah.
Like it's cool.
yeah.
Within the week that we dropped that, my mom and my dad sent pictures of their stuff.
Oh, they got it already?
It's like when I got all my stuff. Yeah, they got all their stuff.
That's awesome.
Mom got a hoodie and a mug. Mom's taking the mug to her new office. She's so
Oh.
excited. My mom got a new job. She's like, oh yeah, when I have to go into the office, it's the mug we're gonna use.
Hell
It's
yeah.
waste. I'm
That's
like,
awesome.
yeah. I can't do that at my job,
Neither can I.
and I'm fine with that.
I wish I could wear our merch while I was at work, but we have a uniform. And I can't stray from the uniform, unfortunately. Maybe one day I'll have a job where I can just wear whatever I want. And I'll be rocking the XP Waste merch. And people are like, hey, what's that? I'm like, thanks for asking. Let me tell you. But yeah, hey guys, if you have purchased merch and you want to take a picture, post it on social media, go for it. But tag us. Use the hashtag XP Waste Podcast. We want to see. Whether it's Twitter, Instagram, we don't have a Facebook, post it up. We want to see. And fruit merch, yes, fruit merch is confirmed. Those in the XP Waste Discord on the recording booth chat. I'm gonna work. That's my next project. I will do nothing. I will not rest until we have fruit merch posted on the. They're freaking out. They're like, really? Oxie's like, please no.
The only way. Listen. I'm virulently opposed to this nasty ass fruit merch. The only way you could possibly make it work is if we just had a shirt on it with the 3 in-game sprites of an orange, a lemon, and a lime on it, and that was just the shirt, just the in-game sprites. So,
hey, you know what? That might be what
there is no potential because I am. Please don't immortalize this crusty ass fruit on Michael's desk. Fruit soldiers unite. No.
I like what you said.
The fruit soldiers may not unionize in my recording booth.
We
chat.
will. I like what you said last week because you're like, the only way it could work is if it's in like this, classic font and like all scripty, and like I got ideas for it. Like the sepia filter. It's like the fruit will be on the desk, but all like brown and filtered, and then the script will be like a March 15th to whenever I throw it away. It'll just be dates. Oh, that'll be hilarious. Or we'll do the one with the sprites, because that's also funny.
I'm thinking if I give you enough ideas, you just won't do it.
No, I'm not going to throw it away.
So-
MB asked in the recording booth chat, no, I'll never throw this away. I'm going to
so.
spray it with polyurethane so that no air can get in or out, and it's just going to forever be a hard piece of fruit. You guys will see it one day on
That is
the back
just-
of epoxy. Yes, epoxy. That's what it'll be. You'll see it on my shelves one day. Maybe I should just start putting it on the shelf and just forget about it.
Just, you know what you got to do is you have to put it in resin and then just make giant D&D dice out
Oh
of it.
my gosh, bro. Can you imagine?
Just a D20 that's the size of a soccer ball with these nasty ass pieces of fruit in it. You could probably put a hole in a wall of bricks with that thing.
So we do have a community question that we asked you guys last week. It reads, if you could rework a mining skilling minigame, what would you do? And I understand that was worded kind of weird because nobody's like mining skilling minigame. It's just mining minigame. So anyway, that's feedback for me. But we got Jacob M, who said, honestly, makes Volcano better XP. It's already quest locked behind some big quests. I'm not saying best XP, but better. I couldn't agree with you more, Jacob. It's the best place to get 99 smithing. This is from Logan L. Each week, the city of Falador requests a specific amount of given ore. Players are tasked with gathering this certain amount of ore. If the threshold is met, the players are rewarded. That would be kind of cool.
Like a huge community wide.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. Maybe if it only happened like once every month or two, so it's not like daily scape.
Right.
Kind of like a monthly event. Like, all right, the mining event is on.
I imagine though, here's the hard part, because you could just go in and buy the ore from the GE, but what if it was ore that you had to like mine in a specific place, and they're like, oh, this ore had to be like, they're like, oh, we can't bring out outside ore. We need the ore that's mined here. But I don't know how you would police that.
Well, what you would need to do is have like a special item, almost like a Stardust equivalent, kind of, where it's like, you have coal, mithril, iron, adamant ore that's like being supplemented, however, but the big thing that gets people mining are like, what's a gem that's not in the game? God damn, we really do have everything. We have tourmaline, we have tanzanite, we have amethyst. Somebody get a crystal person on the phone. Moissanite?
Emerald.
Sure. You need moissanite. That's lab produced. Well, okay. Maybe you can get like just do Charlie the Tramp, but with ore. All right, Elagio, that's strike 2. It would have to be some sort of untradeable mineral that, like, all right, we need 1 million runite, 1 million adamant, 500 million, whatever. If it's community wide, all 100,000 players, yeah, probably.
That'd be a good gold.
And then
too.
be like, all right, then we need 100,000 of this mystery mineral.
Yeah.
Right? 500,000 like Petoskey stones or something that you mine during this event at this, like, man, I don't want to know if it's like a specific hotspot, because I feel like it would just be packed. Because the way mining works right now is it's just 1 rock per person. It's not like a tree where like everybody gets a log.
Yeah.
Or a fishing spot where everybody gets a fish. Just 1 person gets the ore. And it would be rigorous and annoying and not fun. So you would kind of have to make it in the vein of like they're collected from all over Gillinor. And make them so they're also stackable, so people can still power mine iron.
Right.
And do it. And like maybe that becomes the meta for that week. So people are getting good mining XP. And then at the end, you get an XP boost based on how much you've contributed. But it's like ridiculous. Where like if you contribute 50 of these unidentified minerals, you get like 100,000 mining XP.
Right, because it's like once a month
over the course of this like 4-day period.
Yeah, once a week, once a month, whatever it is.
I think it's got to be longer than that, or people are going to think it's like a daily scape to train their mining,
That's true.
Which, like, I know old school players aren't particularly down for like event based things, but I think something like that could be cool. Pokemon Go does it in a really fun way with their bonuses, so it could be fun.
Yeah, I could definitely get it behind that. Like Logan, you're onto something here. You're onto something.
Fact.
Charlie B says, I would love to see Motherlode Mine reworked to be more engaging and skill rewarding. Player skill, not character skill level. Up to a certain point to not ostracize players that don't have that skill. Not sure how, though. I mean, a Motherlode Mine rework would be amazing, because Motherlode Mine came out a long time ago, and having spent hundreds of hours there, it's very boring.
What you could do for something like that is like, I hate the idea of like just making a hard mode everything, but like once you pay a certain number of golden nuggets, you can go through like, I don't know, maybe something like Camdizal, like where it's timed, like where you have to get a lot of minerals and escape like a corroding mine shaft, like Prospector Percy is like, oh my god, look at this mine shaft, it's gonna break every minute, and you gotta go and like power mine some materials and bring them back out, and then you get like extra XP, golden nuggets. It's fast, it's engaging.
Yeah,
it's a little bit better than MLM, but it doesn't get much better until you get to like Runite tier. So like it's just marginally better, but still more fun.
Yeah.
So MLM doesn't immediately become dead content. Maybe you have to have a certain base level, like 50. Maybe you have to spend like 300, 500 golden nuggets to access it. So you have to do a lot of MLM to get to the fun content. But like that could be really fun. So if you're like tick perfect, pathing, you're super efficient with your mining, you could like very easily get a lot of mining XP that way.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be cool.
That'd be a fun expansion to MLM.
And it would give a reason to still keep those nuggets. Because, like, what do you do when you get 99 mining? Or what do you do once you get everything unlocked? You just buy gem bags. So it's not super profitable. I still have all my gems because, like, I don't need, I still have all my nuggets because, like, I don't need gems for anything. I don't know. It's cooler to have the stack. So if they're like, hey, you need 1,000 golden nuggets, I'm like, yes, I have that. This next one's funny. Riley said, I stopped listening. I stopped listening at the point where you guys said, could you eat any you could eat any boss. If you could eat any boss. So we flipped it. Last week it was if you could be eaten by any boss. And we're like, oh, a fun question could be if you could eat any boss. Zill or the blueberry bear, Callisto. Kind of is a blueberry, right? I don't know. Give me the banhammer, boys. Yep, Riley, you're out of here.
At least Riley knows.
Yeah.
At least Riley has the sense to know that they're out of there. Thanks for playing, bud. See you never.
So they did answer the question. Blast mine, build a huge bomb, and then blow up a portion of a huge ore vein. I like that. It takes the whole blast mine to another level.
Mm-hmm.
It could work. Getting through these, okay. Vince said, I would want a mining minigame where you set up a mining company in Kildagram. It could double as a gold sink. Your rewards can be based off of time spent in the mines and the money invested. Okay. Good old Seymour, a new game, some kind of dwarven drilling machine that we follow, mining from the walls and feed it coal as it bores a tunnel from Kildagram or something. I don't know. I just want a reason to go to Kildagram. I think that's the play. Like, a new minigame shouldn't have to come from Motherlode Mine. Just, like, revive old dead content. Like, it could be in Kildagram, or it could be in Dorgishkon for some reason. I don't know. But why not, We have a couple on YouTube. Valeric, shout out. They're on your team, right?
Valeric? Yeah, he is on my team, baby. Let's go, Valeric.
They say, I love blast mining, but needs a bit of work to make it a rewarding piece of content. It is a great option for faster experience than Motherlode Mine without needing the insane concentration of 3-tick granites. There is, however, a few problems. Oh, this is a long one. So we're not going to read this whole thing, but they definitely go into many reasons why blast mine is could be reworked. Thank you so much, Valeric. Appreciate that comment. And then finally, Toast says, I would like to see some sort of minigame centered around the dwarven minecart system. Perhaps digging new tunnels and laying down tracks, defending tracks from rock elementals, with a reward being a new minecart track locations you can take from the hub, probably requiring a covered light source and perhaps a new area for training mining itself with the dragon ore.
Ooh, or Calcum.
Hell yeah. So what I'm getting here, what I'm getting from all this is there's a lot of people want Kildagram to be relevant. So Jagex, if you're listening, the people have spoken. Put the new mining minigame in Kildagram.
Because as we know, Jagex listens to everything we say. Us specifically, not the community.
Just us,
specifically.
me and you.
Yeah, we are the hard carry of the OSRS content community, obviously.
Big Monkey 2022, baby.
Let's go, Big Monkey.
What episode was that? Was that like the 3rd or 4th episode? I can't even.
A really long time ago.
It's a long time ago. So, a lot of thanks for the absolute throwback. Thank you to everyone who answered last week's community question. The question for this week is, what gives you the nostalgia fuzzies in old school RuneScape? I don't know if you want to word it exactly like that.
Worded like that? Like, does that have to be the wording?
It doesn't. Okay, so what?
It's too late. It's going to be fuzzies now. You guys are going to look at the community question and you go, oh, that's uncomfortable. Refer to this moment.
No, the only thing uncomfortable was if you could be beaten by any boss. If you could be eaten by any boss, and we've already done it.
I mean, the people answered.
They did. They did.
The people answered.
All right, Oxy, do you have any achievements for us?
All right. So, as always, we do have some delightful achievements of the week. It's my turn to talk again. I'm so sorry. In the skilling category, which we're going to have 2 different skilling things this week, we've got 11 Suns, 99 Prayer, which, good God. And the man did it at Chaos Altar too. So he said, not only do I got that money, I don't care if I lose that money. He got 99. Too Much Dad, longtime friend of ours, finally got 99 magic. Congratulations,
Jeezy.
but also took you long enough. And just today, a couple hours ago, our friend Brandon, TNL Brandon, Ice Wallow, as you know from Patreon, got his first ever 99 with 99 range.
Hell
The Untrimmed Range Cape actually looks pretty sick. So, in the combat achievement of the week is literally a combat achievement for the week. The reason I'm shouting it out is because this one is just not easy to do. It involves a lot of prayer flicking. Our friend Mima, who, as you know, was formally banned multiple times last week during the fun question section, he completed the Animal Whisperer combat achievement, his first Grandmaster combat achievement done. Now, I want to say for this CA in particular, you have to kill Commander Ziliana without taking a single point of minion damage.
Oh my gosh.
So you have to off-tick and then flick all 3 minions.
Whoa.
Which, to the high-level community, okay, sure, it's a GM task, whatever, get over it. But, you know, it's certainly worth shouting out because that's hard as... That's just hard.
Yeah.
That's difficult.
Dude, GZ Mimo.
Seriously. Got to give an honorable mention to our old friend Immortal as well, who finally hit sub 40 on a solo CM.
Woohoo.
I know he's been hunting for that for quite a while, but GZ to you. Finally, for our last achievement of the week, we have an achievement from a friend of mine who is a brand new clan member as of this week. She finally turncoated and joined TNL. Good friend of longtime TNL podcast / whatever, TNL / podcast friend, Jamie. Kira's in Discord, and I think Twitch as well, finally maxed. It's been a long time coming. She maxed on her birthday, so it was really cool. It was 227 total level, and I want to say 26 IRL level. So congratulations, Kira. The Max Cape. Always awesome.
Woohoo.
Nobody had their hands free on the Max Island. TMD and I were trying to chuck those eggs
Oh, yeah.
from White Wolf Mountain over to the people on Max Island. Nobody had their hands free because everyone had to flex their kitted scythes and their T-bows and shit. So we kept trying to throw chaotic and holy hand eggs over, but nobody could catch them, unfortunately.
Funny.
But
That's funny.
to everyone who had got shouted out, congratulations to all of you. To everyone who didn't get shouted out and achieved something, congratulations. Keep it up. It's bingo season. We've seen a lot of people do a lot of first bossing this week. There's a guy on my team right now, high level, and who I picked last week, who is like actively battling Jad for our tile.
Nice.
He is like, it's like, get the obsidian cape. He's like, no, that. I missed a prayer and got one banged on his second attempt. Like he's pushing through. Hopefully he has this fire cape by the end of the week. But that's why we love about bingo. People just get pushed to do shit they don't normally do.
Yeah.
So, weekly achievements, check. I think it's the time everyone's actually here for, which is the fun question.
Not quite. Not quite. There's one.
Bruv.
Hey, listen, there's one random thing that's like a random shout out that we don't always get to do. This is actually the first time. So, we've had a P.O. box for quite some time. I think I went and actually signed the documents to get this P.O. box like back in November. And it has been in the description of every episode since probably December. But one of our lovely listeners and a patron, she's a wise old woman, Imby Jones, has sent us a package So, YouTube, hello. We're here. Audio only. Listen to the box. Listen. There you go. You get a little ASMR of that, okay?
Stop it.
But she sent Oxie and I both matching t-shirts, which I'm super excited just to rock these during an episode. But we got straight out of Lumbridge shirts. This is awesome. Thank you so much. I mean, you guys already saw the unboxing in the commercial, but I just wanted to give her the shout out again and say thank you so much for the shirts. Oxie and I will be rocking these together, maybe in person one day, like standing next to each other in our shirts. I'm gonna get Oxie's back in the mail tomorrow. So Oxie, be on the lookout for that. Maybe there'll be some fruit in the box for you. We don't know. Speaking of P.O. Box, do you want Hawaii snacks? Yes, please. That would make me the happiest man in Texas. And I can certainly send them to Oxie as well.
Good.
If you would like to send us anything within reason, check out the description. P.O. Box is there. And let me know so I can be on the lookout to go actually up to the post office to grab it. But
is there a within reason with these people? We said, what boss would you like to eat? And they all said Commander Ziliana and the Fragment of Seren.
There's not
reason nigh exist with our community, Michael. I'm telling you, we're getting a bag of pasta dicks in our P.O. box. It's bound to happen.
Anyway, if you
can I send you fruit? Imby, if you send me fruit, I swear to God, I'm just going to hard reset the Discord.
No.
Thanos snap my way. Everyone's out.
No.
I'll take pasta dicks over fruit. I don't want fruit in the mail. Please don't do it.
He's got a bad taste in his mouth for any sort of lovely fruit. Oxie looks at an orange now and is scarred. Anyway, thank you, Imby, and thank you to anybody in the future who sends us something. I'm sure we'll definitely shout it out and show it on the podcast. But now, Oxie, it is the time that everybody's been waiting for.
Now it's fun question time. Great guns, man. And mind you, the man does not tell me about these things before he does them.
Nope.
That's why I'm like, it's time to do this. And he's like, wait, one more thing. It's yeah.
That's me. All right, Oxie. I think we have a great fun question. And this one actually is sourced from the Fun Questions Discord channel. If you are a member of our Patreon, you have access to this channel. Any tier gives you the right to hop in. So we got one from Random Person, aka Jek, which is I talked to them today actually. I was like, wait, is your name actually Jek? J-E-K? They're like, no, it's Jake. But since there's so many Jakes, they have dubbed themselves as Jek as a nickname. So, Random Person,
delightful.
aka Jek, aka Jake. Do they have they don't. Okay, they do have the Only Jakes tag. Okay, cool.
Thank God. As long as they've got the Only Jakes tag, that's what matters.
Yeah, if your name is Jake out there and you're not a part of TNL, once you join TNL and you declare your name as Jake, you will get the Only Jakes tag, like the role in Discord.
We do require ID, social security number, home address, phone number, and social security number. Possibly credit card information if we don't believe you and have to do a second check.
Yeah.
But
could send all that to our accountant. Anyway, the fun question for this week is, what is a cursed bingo tile you would want to add without other admins' approval? Or a tile that you can't really track, but would still be fun if you could? So it's a two-parter question. I guess you can pick which one you would want to answer or answer both.
A cursed bingo tile and a tile I would add without any sort of admin approval. I had one for the cursed tile, and for the life of me, I've forgotten. I think for the tile that can't be tracked, or the tile that is just like super excessive and effectively untrackable, you need to, for the bingo tile, it's a multi-parter. Go to a free-to-play world. You have to give a free-to-play player a bond, like a real free-to-play player. Give them a bond.
Yeah.
And then you have to take them to a members world. and you have to lure them into the wilderness for all their stuff, and then you have to give them 3 times what you lured them for. As like a wonky, no way to track that bingo tile. How many screenshots is that? Do you have just like OBS screen record a 45-minute interaction with someone in free to play, luring this poor bastard out to like Ice Plateau so you can be there with your main account, shing, 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 claw spec the shit out of them? But they'll probably be a low level, so you got to claw spec them on a pure.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so scary. Lure them, and then the minute they respawn in Lumbridge, you're there with your main with just like, all right, here's the calculation. Here's everything you lost, and there's 3 times that.
So you're down in the
That's
dump.
a weird,
that's a very much
untrackable.
It's a huge pay to win. Like, you have to buy the bond, which is nearly 6 mil. And then if you PK them for like 3 mil, you're down another 9 mil.
Yeah. Imby says, what if you die? Tough shit. Find someone else to lure. You have to restart. There is no checkpoints in this tile.
Anti-PK.
If you die at any point during the tile, if you get anti-PK'd, if you get killed out in the deep wild, you have to reset. There is no, it's like the Inferno. There is no saving your progress. So if it takes you 4 attempts to do this to someone, if they escape, you have to do it again.
Wow.
Are you gonna end up on Rune Watch for luring? 100%. 100% you'll end up on Rune Watch if people escape. But free-to-play players don't know about Rune Watch.
No, they don't.
And those who die are going to get paid.
Yeah, true free-to-players.
Like, right? Exactly, bro. Exactly. So that would probably be my, like, untrackable tile. As far as, like, a cursed tile or a tile that, like, could go without admin approval, that one's really tough. I kind of like making people get fire caves. I like how we've done it this... I like making people do shit they have to do for their account.
Right.
I like, everyone has to get 1 Zulrah, 1 Jad, 1 Vorkath, 1 of each God of War's dungeon, and then 1 Chambers of Xerath KC for the tile of the count. Everyone on the team has to do it.
Oh.
So like the poor like 1300 total level people on the team have to get like gear loans and like get walked through Zulrah. Like, gotta do your quest, baby. Like, it's so not feasible because so many people who play bingo are like so far off from various quests. But like, I would like to do like a prove that your team can kill all of or a select amount of these bosses. I don't think that would be a good tile.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it would be a cursed tile to add without admin approval.
Yeah.
What about you, Michael? What do you got?
So for the untrackable one, we actually kind of teased this, but like, I don't even know how you would track this. So it answers the question perfectly, but like log 10 hours or like 15 hours into another video game that's not RuneScape during the bingo. Like specifically don't play RuneScape during the 10 days that you're supposed to be playing RuneScape. That would be a tile. And it has to be by 1 person. Like, you can't do 5 hours of 1 person, 5 hours of another person. Like, 1 person has to play 10 hours of Fortnite. and then you get your tile. But there's like no way to track that. So something like that.
The worst is if you randomly assign a game to each team.
Oh.
Like, 1 team gets Fortnite, 1 team gets Minecraft, 1 team gets like Barbie Horse Adventure. Like, you just have to play 10 hours into these games.
Yeah.
And they have to like buy it themselves and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
You're
that's
financially
such a
responsible. I was in VC and somebody was saying they were like saying ridiculous tiles, and this one came up. They're like, what if you had a bank standing tile where you had to sit there and get 6-hour logged, but all you had, like, the only thing you could do is stand at the bank. Maybe you could train, but like you could not leave that tile for 6 hours. It's like the bank standing tile. Like, oh my gosh, how would you technically could verify that. They would have to screen record the entire thing and then submit that, and a mod would have to watch that entire video. But That would be terrible.
Yeah, because the admin work is so easy for this bingo. I could totally want to do that.
That's no.
Yeah, well, that would suck.
And then a curse tile. I don't even know. I'm not that kind of person who sits there and like thinks of things that would make people cringe in this game. Oh, what is?
I got one. I got a uber cringe.
You got one?
Whenever you got yours.
Okay,
yeah.
go for it. No, go for
So
it.
this, I thought of this because I thought of you. You should make someone get a 1KC item as a tile.
Oh,
A one completion item, a first completion item. Get a 1KC pet. Get a 1KC clue unique. Get a 1KC mini game or like skilling boss unique.
yeah.
Get something in 1KC, any unique from any collection log the first time you complete it.
That would be cool.
And if you don't have anything left, like there are easy ways around that, of course, but like, you know, like dude, you can get a 1KC kit from Rogue's Den.
Yeah.
You could get a 1KC, like you could make it kind of easy where like hallowed marks are an item,
yeah.
you know, but like if you've already done that floor, you have to train to the next agility level because it's your first KC for that new floor.
Yeah.
So like
That would be cool.
that would be cursed.
Yeah. That would, I mean, it would severely limit a lot of people from doing it. And maybe we could make it to where like you can make a new account if you so please. Like each time you want to try and get a new year, maybe you make a new noob account and you do your first like beginner clue on a new account. And
Yeah,
every
those are
time
locked.
I know. So then you have to play on that account for 10 hours each time you want to attempt it. But then you could get.
So we're just gonna create a bot farm, is what I'm hearing. We're just...
You have like 6
Well,
accounts multi-logged for 10 hours one day.
Another alternative for it is if you already have 1KC at every activity, right? Get a first kill of the trip tile. And if you don't get something the first kill of the trip, you have to go back, bank, and then go back for the next trip.
Yeah. 1 kill trips.
No way to track that. No way to track that, but like 1 kill.
Yeah. It would have to be one of those like video things where if you don't get it in 1 kill, you have to switch to a new boss. Like if you don't get 1 kill at Bandit, like if you do 1 kill at Bandos and you don't get anything, now you have to go to another boss and maybe it's randomly assigned. Like, okay, next you roll on a table and it's Sarachnis next. And you have to like completely re-gear and maybe you get screwed over and it's like, go and get something way rare from a boss that really sucks and you're never going to get it. Or you need a task for it.
Would be ass.
Yeah.
Like, dude, get a Hydra Claw on your first Hydra kill. So you have to hunt a Hydra task. And then if you don't get it, roll to do a different boss.
And maybe it's task locked and you have to go and cancel your Hydra task.
You just spent all that time trying to get
that
tutorial skipped for 4 hours to get this Hydra task. Oh my god, that would be hell, dude.
That's very cursed. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't have really anything else for that one. Unfortunately, my brain just not. YouTube, you probably are seeing this, but like my light has been flickering for the last 25 minutes and it is distracting the hell out of me. I don't know if you've noticed it, Oxie, but
I've been distracted this entire episode because I'm exhausted and I want to go to bed. So,
well, random person Jack, thank you so much for the fun question. You actually have a second question on your post, and watch out, we may use that one next week. Because we
just might.
We have a bunch of questions stored up, hundreds in fact. They're all in a journal somewhere, but we don't want to exhaust that list.
Of course. Obviously, we don't want to go through too quickly.
No. It's the community questions. All right, take us out, Oxie.
All right, folks, you guys know what to do. Every link you could ever need or could ever want will be in the description of this episode. Go check out all the things that we do that benefit you guys I'm doing Sarachnis right now. I'm sorry. I'm trying to no-look prayer switch. Yep. Go check out xpwaste.shop. Go join the Discord. Discord.gg/OSRSTNL. That is so many individual letters. That is hard to say. It's hard to say out loud. Follow us on socials. There should be a link tree somewhere where you can get all that juicy social information. Follow us on TikTok. Let us know what TikToks you think would be fun for us to do, because I've got some in mind. But again, with what time, Oxie? With what time? In any case, we will see you guys next week.